Page 148 of Universal Prayers. There are 3 slokas from the Mahanirvana Tantra. Namaste Sate Sarvalokaashrayaya Namaste Chite Vishwarupatmakaya Namo Dvaita Tattvaya Mukti Pradaya Namo Brahmane Vyapine Nirgunaya Tvamekam Sharanyam Tvamekam Varinyam Tvamekam Jagatkaranam Vishwarupam Tvamekam Jagatkartrapatra Prahartru Tvamekam Param Nischalam Nirvikalpam Hayanam Bhayam Bhishanam Bhishananam Gatih Praninam Pavanam Pavananam Mahochai Padanam Niyantrittvamekam Paresham Param Rakshanam Rakshananam. Salutations to thee, the existence absolute, the support of all the worlds. Salutations to thee, the intelligence absolute, who dost appear as the universe. Salutations to thee, the one reality without a second, the giver of salvation. Salutations to thee, the Brahman, the all-pervading, the absolute. Thou art the only refuge, the only object of adoration, the one cause of the universe. Thou dost manifest thyself in manifold forms. Thou alone art the creator, preserver, and destroyer of the universe. Thou art the highest, the immovable, the absolute. O Lord, thou art the dread of even the dreadful, the terror of the terrible, the refuge of all beings, the purifier of all purifiers. Thou alone art the ruler of even the highest, high-placed ones. Thou art the supreme over the supreme, the protector of the protectors. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, let us see. I have a couple of questions sent by email. Let us see what they are, and I will. So we have to do one more sloka before we come to the question. Yeah, last one remaining. Yes, I forgot. Let us go back to the last verse, 78, that we have to do. Here Sanjaya concludes his narration to Dhritarashtra. As we saw last time, this is a conversation between Dhritarashtra, the Kaurava king, and Sanjaya, whom he trusted, and asked what was happening on the battlefield. So last verse, 78. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhotihi Dhruva Netirmatirmama. Where the master yogin Krishna is, where the bowman Arjuna is, there I deem dwell glory, victory, prosperity, and stable order. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, where Krishna the Yogeshwara. Yogeshwara means the Lord from whom all the yogas originated, the source of all knowledge. At the time of creation, the Lord created knowledge, and he is the source of all knowledge, the Lord himself, Bhagavan, in the form of Sri Krishna in the Mahabharata. Where he is, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha. Dhanurdhara means Partha is Arjuna, who is holding the Gandiva, the bow and arrow. Tatra, there, Sri means glory. Wealth also. Sri means wealth or glory. Vijayaha, Vijaya means success. Bhutihi means prosperity. And Dhruva Niti, Dhruva means permanent, stable. Niti means social order, so peace in society. And no disturbance, and no violence, no crimes, and peace prevail. All these things prevail. Wealth, prosperity, success, and glory, and stable social order. Dhruva Niti. Not much social disturbance, as it is prevailing in some places in the world, almost all the places in the world. Social disorder, people hating each other, those things will not be there. Where the Lord is, Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra, where he is, where Arjuna is. What does it mean? He's everywhere. The Lord is omnipresent. He's in the whole creation, he is there. Where he is there means where the people follow his instructions, the Lord's instructions given to Arjuna, Dhanurdhara Arjuna, because Arjuna asked the question, how to fight my own relatives on the battlefield. That's how the Gita conversation began. We shall see. So we saw it and we'll do it again later. That's how the whole Gita began to be taught. Was taught by the Lord himself. If Arjuna had not asked the question, if he had simply started fighting like all the other people were going to do, then we would not have there would be no conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, and we would not have had the Gita. So it is due to Arjuna's doubt, that the whole teaching was given to him by the Lord Sri Krishna. So we also should inquire, what I am doing in my duty, is it proper? Should I do it now? Is it proper for me to do this work? What are the consequences? All those things we have to consider before doing any action. That was that Arjuna had the question, is it proper for me to kill all these people? And Sri Krishna gave the answer to, you should do your duty because you are a Kshatriya. Your duty is to maintain law and order. The time has come for you to use force, because all other negotiations to come to a peaceful settlement led by Krishna himself failed, and this was the last resort. So like this he explains in the Gita. So where people follow this, the instructions, the inquiry that Arjuna did, the instruction that Sri Krishna gave to do our duty, and they do all their work as worship with love and joy and gratitude, offer it to him, where they are devoted to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. There, in that society, you will see prosperity, peace, and people are happy. In a society where these things are not there, people don't follow any rules of order, and they do whatever they like, indulge in violence, meaningless violence, and suppress certain segments of society. Like some women are suppressed in some societies. They're not given any freedom at all. In those societies, we'll always see there is always a turmoil, no peace. There are some countries, there always some fighting is going on. People are always under tension, violence, killing each other going on in some societies. Because there is no regard for the teachings of dharma that Bhagavan Sri Krishna is teaching in this sacred scripture. So this is the conclusion, where people follow the path of dharma. There peace prevails, prosperity prevails, and happiness prevails. Where dharma is not followed, then the opposite happens. That's the conclusion. This whole conclusion of not only Gita, the Mahabharata, whole Mahabharata in one sentence can be mentioned as dharma. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. If you protect dharma, it will protect us, save us from suffering, and lead us towards the highest goal. If you follow dharma, if you abandon dharma, then the opposite happens. So that is how the Gita concludes. Now, there are some questions I got by email. One question: how to neutralize already performed karma in this life? Karma performed in this life, maybe in previous lives also, affecting us. We call it prarabdha karma. Prarabdha means karma that has begun to bear fruit. A lot of karma is not even begun to bear fruit. It's called sanchita karma, accumulated karma. It's all there in storage, untouched. But some part of the karma, total karma we did over many lifetimes, some part of it is bearing fruit in this life. It has to be worked out in this life. That segment is called prarabdha karma, that which has begun to bear fruit. Good karma is bearing good fruit, bad karma is bringing suffering. It's mixture. Life is a mixture of good and bad for everybody. The proportion varies. Some people have more sukha, happiness, and less unhappiness. Some people have the other way. Depends upon what kind of karma we have done. We all have done karma, otherwise we would not have been born at all. If you have not done any karma, nothing to be worked out, then there will be no birth at all. So that is not the case. We are born. So how to neutralize especially the bad karma that we did, which is producing suffering in this life? The answer is you cannot neutralize. All karma has to bear fruit, and we have to go through the karma phala. Once karma done, we'll have to bear fruit. But we can deal with it in a constructive way. If there is a lot of suffering due to bad karma done in the past, suffering in this life, then leading a virtuous life, intense prayer will reduce the intensity of suffering, will not make it zero. There will be some suffering, but we can greatly reduce the intensity of suffering. Holy Mother, Sri Sarada Devi and Sri Ramakrishna both have said, by intense prayer, one can reduce the intensity of suffering caused by bad karma done in the past. We all pray, but it should be very intense prayer for us to see the result. Every prayer helps to some extent, but it may not be much. We will not be able to feel the difference. If you want to feel the difference, actually see reduction in suffering, then you have to prayer intensely. A lot of the time you have to keep on repeating God's name, lead virtuous life. Then if we're doing that one, our degree of suffering will be very much reduced. Holy Mother says, if the bad karma is so bad that you have to lose one hand, by intense prayer, you can reduce the suffering, you will end up losing one finger. Something has to be lost. It cannot be zero, but intensity will be much less. So that kind of intense prayer, repetition of God's name, and meditation, thinking about God, doing all work as worship peacefully, joyfully, offering everything to the Lord, not having an attachment to karma phala, and following all the rules of morality, ahimsa, satya, asteya, non-violence, truthfulness, all those things. By doing that one, we can greatly reduce the suffering due to bad karma done in the past. And we should not do bad karma in the present. That is understood. That is what can be said about that one. Second question was, does mental japa, besides creating holy vibrations within, also create them in the surrounding environment? Yes, the answer is yes. When we do japa, though it happens mentally, nobody knows that we are doing japa. We are doing it in our mind. Japa is not something that other people can notice if we do it silently, quietly, in one place. But it will have very powerful effect not only on the individual in purifying the mind, reducing the suffering due to bad karma done in the past. It also enhances the purity of the environment. The whole place will be permeated with positive vibrations, holy vibrations. That is the effect of japa. Though it is not seen by other people, they're doing it in our own mind, still its power, its effect is very powerful. That is how there are certain places which have become holy places called places of pilgrimage, yatra, tirtha yatra, holy places. How did a holy become like holy place like Varanasi, Tiruvannamalai, or Constantinople for Christians? How did those places become holy? Because great many holy people have done tapas there. Great many holy people have done tapas in those places. Therefore, those places have become holy places. And if you go there, our mind also becomes calm and pure. So this is explained by Narada in his devotions, Bhakti Sutra. How does a place become a holy place? Pilgrimage. Tirthi kurvanti tirthani. If a person with pure devotion, pure bhakti, goes to a certain place, any place, and spends some time there thinking about God, doing meditation, prayer, that place becomes holy. Then any other person who goes there will also feel the benefit of that holy place. That's why we have certain places which are called pilgrimage places. So the effect of japa is, in answer to that question, not only does it produce positive holy vibrations within and purify our minds and take us towards God, japa, it also creates holy vibrations in the whole surroundings. The whole family will feel the effect. If one person does intense japa, everybody will feel the effect to some extent. Whole place will be filled. Anybody who comes to that house will feel peace and joy. There are certain places, somebody's house, if you go, you feel very calm and peaceful. You feel the loving place there. If you go to some other place, you feel disturbed. You get bad vibes. So this is what the effect of japa is. It purifies the whole place, not only the person, the whole environment. That is that positive answer. Then third question was, please discuss 327. Chapter 3, sloka 27. There, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Prakrite kriyamanani. You go to chapter 3, verse 27. Kriyamanani sarvashaha ahankara vimodhatma karta haimiti manyate. 27. Yes, 327. How work is being done, where work is being done, where work happens. All work happens among the components of Prakriti. Prakritehe gunaihi, the gunas of Prakriti. Prakriti has 3 gunas. What are they? Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. That you have seen before in the 14th chapter. Chapter 14, we studied the 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. They are all aspects of Prakriti. Prakriti means the physical part of the universe. Physical part of the universe. Nature we call. All actions happen there by the gunas of Prakriti. Our bodies and minds are also part of nature. What is the body? Made up of food that we eat. What is the food? The 5 elements. Panchabhuta. All bodies are made. Human bodies, animal bodies, plant bodies, trees, everything, sun, moon, star, all made up of matter. That is Prakriti. All actions happen at the body, mind level. Sense organ, sense object. They're all part of Prakriti. This body, when we call this person, is not different from the tree standing outside. It's part of Prakriti, I am part of Prakriti. Only this is moving and talking, that is staying there and producing oxygen, supporting life. Otherwise, they are all made up of the same 5 elements. Ingredients are the same of the tree and the human being and the building and the sun and the moon. All actions happen at the body, mind, sense organ, sense object level. That's what the first line says. Prakrite gunaihi karmani sarvasha kriyamanani. All actions are happened by the gunas of Prakriti at the level of the body, mind, sense organ. It's part of Prakriti. Ahankara vimodhatma, a person who knows that he is the body mind, thinks he is the body and the mind. He is a person who does not have knowledge. Vimodhatma means one who does not have knowledge, ignorant person. What does he or she think? Aham karta ite manyate. He thinks I am the doer. I means to such a person, body mind. That is the mistake we do. Our ignorance of our true nature. We are not the body mind. Vedanta says we are not the body mind. You are the Atman, Tattvamasi. You are the Atman, that you are. But how many of us can feel that one in practice every day? We think you are the body and the mind. So all actions happen at the body-mind level. And I think I'm the doer of action, thinking I'm the body-mind. That is what causes suffering. But if I give up that body-mind attachment, if I experience my Atman nature, then there is no karma. No karma phala, no good, no bad, no enjoyment, no suffering, absolute peace, Atmananda. So a person who has not reached the stage of knowing his true self or true self as Atman, still thinks and operates at the body-mind level. Such a person thinks the doer, karta, and that is the, when you do some action, good or bad, it will produce the result, and we do more action, more result, more suffering, more enjoyment, we continue life after life. That is the effect of ignorance of our true nature that we should overcome. When we get self-knowledge, I am not the body mind, I am the Atman, then no karma phala, no good, no bad, no suffering, no. That is the highest position we can. We are not there, so we are in ignorance of our true nature. So we think we are the doer, and we enjoy or suffer the fruit of our action, good or bad, and that's how our life continues. So there's a solution to this one. The solution is twofold. For those who believe in God, personal God, who are devoted to personal God, when they get true devotion, prema bhakti, shuddha bhakti, pure devotion, not combined with desire or anger or fear or anything, but total pure devotion. We are going to study that in the next book, Narada Bhakti Sutra, pure devotion. For such a person, no karma does not affect. Because karma does not affect a person with devotee, true devotee, not ordinary devotee. True devotee as described in Narada. But karma does not affect because such a person does not think he is the doer. He thinks he is only an instrument. God is the doer. Lord himself has said that one in chapter 11, sloka 33. I am the doer. Krishna says to Arjuna, you think you are the doer? That's ignorance. I am the doer. I have already done all these things. Maya veta neta purameva. So what is your role then? Arjuna's role, our role, simply being the instrument in his hand. Nimetta matram bhava. 11:30. So devotees think God is the doer, and he's not the doer, he's only an instrument. So good and bad karma does not affect the devotee, pure devotion. One way. Or if a person follows the path of jnana and achieves self-knowledge, I am not the body mind, I am the Atman. When he gains self-knowledge, for that person no karma, because self does not do anything. Atman has no action. Body mind has the action, and all result karma will go to the body mind. I'm not the body mind. I'm not affected by karma phala. Neither do I karma, nor am I affected by karma phala. Down his position. No kartritva, no bhoktritva. Either by self-knowledge or by pure devotion, we can transcend karma and karma phala. Otherwise, if we neither have self-knowledge nor pure devotion, then we are subject to karma phala. Good karma produce good result, bad karma produce bad result. That is 327. Ahankara vimodhatma aham karta ite manyate. person who does not know the truth, that he is the self, Atman, nor does he have a pure devotion, such a person, aham karta iti manyate, thinks I am the doer. If I am the doer, then I am the enjoyer of the fruit of action. Karma phala will necessarily come. If you do karma, karma phala will come. Good, good, bad, bad. And then I enjoy and I suffer. So this goes on continuously. So solution is either follow the path of jnana, get self-knowledge, liberation. Or follow path of bhakti, get pure devotion, liberation. You become totally absorbed in God consciousness. For such a person, no karma phala. That is the long answer to ahankar vimuratma karta hamiti manyate. Any follow-up question for that one, Sushma ji? You have to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now? Swamiji, can you hear me?
Any follow-up question?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So to achieve self-knowledge, what are the basic steps one can take?
Hold on. Let me put my earphone, because the sound system. 1 second, give me. So this session will be nobody here. So, what was your question?
To achieve self-knowledge, the basic steps, could you please tell us some basic steps?
Many basic steps are involved in path of jnana. First, preparation. Preparation for jnana yoga consists of 4 steps, sadhana chatushtayam. First is viveka. Viveka means, first step in viveka means ability to distinguish between what is true, what is untrue. The whole world is not real, coming and going, changing, ephemeral. Atman alone is real. That conviction has to be developed first step. That is Viveka. Second thing is Vairagya. Viveka, Vairagya. Vairagya means firmly rejecting everything that is unreal, world and all the enjoyment, suffering the world gives, relationships, happiness, unhappiness, all these things have to be rejected. Only Atman has to be thought about. Vairagya. Only Atman is real. I'm going to meditate on that one constantly. I'm not going to worry about the world. He said this it happened, that happened, family, children, grandchildren, nothing. Only Atman. That is second, Vairagya, total renunciation. Third step involves 6 different disciplines. Shama, this all third step is contains 6 parts. First part is Shama, calmness of mind, remaining calm always, good or bad. Dhamma, controlling sense organs, not allowing the sense organs to go here and there. Shama Dhamma, Titiksha, forbearance, whatever difficulty comes, bearing it calmly without complaining. And then Titiksha, Shraddha, of firm faith, conviction in the teachings of the teacher and the teachings of the Upanishads. And Samadhana, concentration on the mind. Upariti means keep the mind calm always. 6 things. All these for the third part. Fourth part is mumukshutvam. Mumukshutvam means a strong desire to achieve moksha, liberation through the path of jnana. It should cover all other desire. No other desire should be there. Desire for enjoyment and family life and money and fame and long life and good health, all those be superseded. Only there for liberation must remain. If these 4 steps are done, that is preparation. And then 3 more steps to actual practice jnana yoga. 3 steps are involved in actual practice. After while preparing these things, first is Sravanam, hearing from a qualified teacher, the nature of the Atman. Sravanam, with concentration. Mananam, reflection on that one. Third step is nididhyasanam, deep meditation, continuous meditation on the Atman. This continuous meditation on the Atman without any distraction for a long time culminates in samadhi. In samadhi, you achieve self-knowledge, whole world, everything.
Oh gosh, it's very...
Remain. That is the Jnana Yoga in brief. Otherwise, if those who cannot do all these, they can have devotion to personal God and practice pure devotion, give up all desires and total surrender to God, doing our duties as worship with joy and offering everything to God, surrendering oneself to God, Sharanagati, and constant prayer, repeating God's name. By all these methods, one can achieve pure devotion that also makes us free from karma phala.
So karma yoga seems to be...
Karma yoga prepares the mind for both of these things.
Can we not just follow karma yoga and yet reach the goal of liberation eventually?
After karma yoga prepares the mind to do jnana yoga or bhakti yoga. Karma yoga is common to both.
So you have to do all three then.
You have to do karma yoga. You can't escape. Without karma yoga, mind will not be ready for either practice of jnana yoga or bhakti yoga.
No, what I am saying is, can you not just follow karma yoga? That's it. Can we do that? Just focus on...
Pure. Then we have to, after doing karma yoga, mind becomes pure, then you will naturally tend towards the goal. Karma prepares the mind to that one, directs the mind towards the ultimate goal. Karma yoga prepares that one.
Also, Swamiji, I don't know if I noticed something that in Bhagavad Gita, although Lord says he is doer, for example, in 11:33, he says, Me veta netha purva meva nimit matra bhav, whatever. So that is so true, but many times doesn't he try to convey that he is not the doer?
We ordinarily have the feeling I am the doer.
Sometimes he gives the feeling he is the doer, and sometimes I get the feeling he absolute is not the doer. Don't you think that is true? In Bhagavad Gita, you do come across those segments. Am I right or no?
Say the question again.
My question is, many times I have felt in Bhagavad Gita that absolute, that is Lord Krishna, tries to say that he is not the doer. There are some such slokas in chapter
Atman
9.
is not the doer.
Yeah, but in some areas he says he is the doer.
Yeah, personal God, those who believe, follow the path of bhakti, they surrender, they are not, think they are not doer. The Lord is doing everything, I'm only the instrument. That's the bhakta's attitude. Jnani says there is no karma. Karma is the body, mind, I'm neither of those, I'm the Atman, no karma. Those are two different ways. You can either do this or not that one. That's why you see both of them in the Gita. Jnani's path is no karma.
No karma.
All happens, karma happens, body, mind, sense organ, sense of, neither of which I am. I'm the Atman, no karma phala. Neither he does nor I do. Body, mind does it, I'm neither of those things. Bhakta thinks God is the doer, I'm only an instrument. That is only a true devotee can say. I cannot say that because I have the notion of being the doer. While I'm feeling I'm the doer, I cannot say God is the doer. That's be wrong for me. Only a high person of pure devotion, such a person can say, the Lord is the doer. For me to say God is doer, I'm not doing anything, it'll be a mistake. Because I have kartrutva, I have body, mind, consciousness. My devotion is preliminary devotion. Then all that describe pure devotion is you have to transcend this level and only Lord remains. At that level, you're not the doer. That is a different path. That's why you see both in the Gita, both Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you, Swamiji.
Okay, let's go to the next question. I got one more question, 327. In the verse 67, 1867, the Lord says, this knowledge should not be given to a person who does not do tapas, idam te na tapaskaya, a person who does not have devotion, na bhaktaya, a person who does not do seva, shushrusha, no shushrusha vachyam. So, in the Ramayana, the one Lord Sri Rama gave instruction about self-knowledge to Lakshmana. At the end of the Ramayana, you see one chapter in the Adhyatma Ramayana Uttarakanda. The chapter is called Rama Gita. In Rama Gita, there are 62 verses where Lakshmana asks question of Rama. At the end of Ramayana story, Lakshmana asks, brother, we have done all these things and fighting and Ravana killing, all those things. Then he asks Vedanta question, what's the purpose of life, how to reach goal of life, something like that. Then when Lakshmana asks that question, Rama explains to him the Advaita Vedanta he teaches, Tattvamasi, everything he teaches to Lakshmana. And the question was, Lakshmana did seva, Shushrusha for 14 years, served Rama, and Rama Sita were both in the forest. Lakshmana, with great devotion, served day and night Rama and Sita. The Shushrusha seva he did, so he became eligible to receive the teachings of the Lord. But in the Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna got the teachings of God. Did he do seva also? There is no such reference to Arjuna doing any Shushrusha seva in the Gita. How come that Sri Krishna taught this Adhyatma Vidya, spiritual knowledge to Arjuna, though he did not do any seva? At least there is no reference to doing any seva. But Arjuna was chosen for this teaching by the Lord. The Lord gave the teaching to only Arjuna, not the other 4 Pandava brothers, because 2 reasons. One is Arjuna asked the question, other didn't ask the question. Bhima, Dharmaraja, and Nakula, they were all willing to fight and they didn't have the doubt, should I kill them or not. One reason Arjuna asked the question. Second reason is Arjuna was very dear to Sri Krishna. In the verse 65, in the chapter 18, Sri Krishna clearly says, you are very dear to me, Priyosime. They were friends in the beginning. They used to play together, eat together, and hang out together. In the 11th chapter, all these things come. They used to address each other as friends. They were very close friends, and Arjuna was very, very dear to Sri Krishna. I mean, all the Pandavas were dear to Krishna, but Arjuna was his very close, like a friend, close friend. So he says in 1865, Priyosime, you are very dear to me. Pratijane Priyosime, Satyam te Pratijane Priyosime. 4 things you have to do. 1865. 1865, how does it begin? 1865. Beginning, I forget. I remember the second line.
Manmana Bhava.
Manmana Bhava, yeah. Manmana Bhava, Madbhakta Bhava, Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. 4 things you have to do. Keep your mind fixed on me and have devotion to me, Madbhakta Bhava. Do all your work as offering to me, Madhyaji Bhava, Mam Namaskuru, bow down to me. If you do these things, Mameva Eshyasi, will reach me alone. Pratijane, I'll promise to you, Priyosime, because you are dear to me. So Sri Krishna himself clearly says you are dear to me, very dear to me. And he asked the question, he was especially given this favor of this Upadesha, this teaching of Bhagavad Gita was given to Arjuna in the Mahabharata. Whether he did seva or not, there's no information about him. He probably did seva to Krishna and the Pandava, other Pandava brothers. There's no such. I don't have any information about he doing seva. Other 3 qualities he had. He had fixed his mind on God. He was shown the cosmic form in 11th chapter. He had devotion. He surrenders to God. In chapter 2, verse 7, Sri Krishna says, Shishyastev Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. Prapannam means I've taken refuge, surrender to you. Arjuna says, surrender to Sri Krishna. Shammam Shadi, please instruct me what I should do now because of this doubt. So he surrendered to Lord Shri Krishna, sought his advice, he was devoted to him, so that Krishna chose Arjuna, taught this Gita to Arjuna. That was that question. And yeah, one minute ago. Okay, those are all the questions now. And now we have still some time. I want to go to the beginning of the first chapter. First chapter of the Gita. Point out a few slokas there in every chapter. In this class and next class, we should do that one. How this whole thing began, as Sanjaya narrates to Dhritarashtra, and both armies were assembled on the Kurukshetra battlefield, Kaurava army, Pandava army. And Arjuna is taken to the middle of the battlefield. Krishna is the Sarathi, the charioteer, and Arjuna sees all the surveys the Kaurava army. Who are there? He notices Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Duryodhana, Dushasana, all the Kaurava brothers, and other people whom he knew, some are for relatives, some he grew up with. So when he sees all these things, then he got a doubt. That how doubt he expressed in this first chapter, and also part of second chapter. He says, how can I kill all these people? Go to the second chapter, sloka number 4. Second chapter, sloka number 4. Arjuna's question continues. Katham Bhishma Maham and Sankhya Dronam. Sankhya means in the war, in the battlefield, in the war. You should be here by using my arrows. Pratyutsami. Pujar how? Pujar means they are worthy of worship. Bhishma, Drona, other people are worthy of worship. How can I kill them with my arrows? And then sloka number 5 in chapter 2, Arjuna asks, Gurun ahatva hi mahana bhavan. Chayo bhaktam Bhishma paipeha lokya. It is better for me to live on alms. Bhaksha means bhikshavritti, begging. Better to live on begging rather than kill the elders, gurus, teachers and elders like Bhishma and others. Killing these people who seek to gain ends of their own, I should be tasting blood-stained enjoyment. Rudira pradigdan bhunjami bhogan. Rudira means blood. If I kill them, the kingdom will come to me. That kingdom will come tainted with their blood, with the blood of Bhishma, Drona, and all Karna and all the Kaurava brothers. How can I enjoy that kingdom? Or if they kill us, if we are defeated, which is more likely because there is a smaller army, Pandavas is a smaller army, then we will all die. Either way, I don't like to do engage in the war, because either they will or we will. Either case, it will be not a good outcome. Therefore, he says, sloka number 7 is important in second chapter. Final word of Arjuna. In sloka number 7, he says, Karpanya dosha pagatas sabhavaha prichhami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha. Dharma sammuda cheta means I'm confused about what is my dharma now. If my dharma means duty, if my duty to kill them, and if I succeed in killing them, I will get the kingdom, comes at the cost of their lives, tainted with their blood, I can't enjoy. Or if I am killed, then I lose my life, won't live anymore. So what is good for me? Yachryasyat tanme bruhi. Shreya means which is better for me. Which path should I follow? Should I engage in war and meet either death or kill them? Or should I not engage in war? Yachryaha syat. What is better for me? Tanme bruhi. Please explain that to me. Tell me which is better. Should I engage in war or not? Te aham shishyaha. Last line in sloka 7, chapter 2. I'm your disciple. For the first time, Arjuna says, I'm your disciple. Aham te shishyaha. Until they were friends. Arjuna was treating Krishna as a friend mutually. But now he says, takes the new position. Aham te shishyaha Mam Tvam Prapannam Mam Shadi. Tvam Prapannam, I have taken refuge. Prapatti means refuge. I have taken refuge in you. Not friend, but as a disciple, I have taken refuge in you. Mam Shadi, teach me what is the right thing for me to do. Then he keeps quiet. That's the end of Arjuna's question. That's how the whole thing began. Then there's something interesting happens. Actually, our Sri Krishna's teaching begins with the 11th verse. But before that, in verses 2 and 3 in chapter 3, I'm going to read what Swami Vivekananda said about. If you go to chapter 2, verses 2 and 3, there Bhagavan Sri Krishna asks Arjuna to display strength and give up weakness. Let me chant 2 and 3, important verses, very important verses in chapter 2. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Kutastva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samapastitam Anaryajustam Asvagyam Akirtikaram Arjuna Klebyam Masmagamah Partha Naitatva Yipapadyate Kshudram Hriya Daurbalyam Tyaktva Uttishta Parantapa. These two verses are very, very important. Shankara is not commented on them. He begins the commentary with 11th verse. In the first 2 and 3 slokas, Shankara did not do his commentary. But what Sri Krishna said, very first word Krishna says, before he talks about all the yogas, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, all those things he taught in the remaining 16, 17 chapters. Before he did any of that, what did Sri Krishna say to Arjuna? First thing Sri Krishna said to Arjuna was, give this weakness, be strong. He says, second sloka in chapter 2, Idam Kashmalam Kutaha. From where this weakness has come to you? You are known to be a warrior. Arjuna was known the greatest warrior, strongest person, bravest person, not afraid of anything, and most accomplished archer. Nobody could excel him in archery. Such a person, from where this Vishame in this critical juncture and the battlefield, from where this weakness has come, Kutasva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samapastitam. Anarya Joshtam. Arya is a noble person. Arjuna was a noble person, born of Kshatriya, noble family. For you, it is Anarya Joshtam. You're totally unbecoming. If an ordinary soldier, very ordinary soldier, sees the 11 divisions of Kaurava and runs away in fear, it is understandable. But not Arjuna, known to be the greatest warrior, bravest person. Anarya Joshtam is totally unbecoming of a noble person like you. Akirtakaram, it will become infamy. People are praising Arjuna now because of him, you know, the Gita. Centuries, millions later, we are remembering Arjuna being thankful to him. Now, otherwise, if you had run away, we'd be thinking opposite. This Krishna, Arjuna, with everybody thought was such a great person, nothing. And he saw the Kaurava army run away. It's not unbecoming of you. Anarajustam Asvargyam Akirtakaram Arjuna. Then the sloka number 3, I'm reading this with a purpose. Klebyam masmagamah partha naitatva papadyate kshudram hridaya dorbalyam tyaktva parantapa. This is very important. Here, Partha, Arjuna, Klebyam masmagamah. Don't yield to this unmanliness. Klebya means unmanly person. Don't become like that one, unmanly. Etat tvayana upapadyate. This is totally unbecoming of you. You are known to be a brave warrior. Shudram hriya dorbalyam tyaktva. Giving up this silly faint-heartedness. Uttishta parantapa. Stand up, Arjuna. Parantapa means one who scorches the enemies. Such a person, Arjuna was known as Parantapa, because you destroy the enemies. In you, it is unbecoming. Now, the reason I read these two slokas is, let us see what Swami Vivekananda said about these two slokas, something very interesting. In his lectures on Gita, Swamiji referred to these two slokas. Let us now read a little from the second chapter. Swamiji said, I'm reading from his lectures. Kutastaka Salmedam, the two slokas, they translated them. Then he says, when you see Krishna says, it does not befit you. You are the Atman, imperishable, beyond all evil. Having forgotten your real nature, you have been thinking yourself sinner, one afflicted with bodily evils, mental grief. This is not becoming of you, he says. Klebyam mas bhagamah partha, yield not to unmanliness, O son of Pritha. There in this world, neither sin nor misery, neither disease nor grief. Let me. Then he says, if one reads this one sloka, Swamiji says, if one reads this one sloka, Laibhyamas magamah partha naitutai papadyate, Shudram Mridyada Balyam Pikta Tishta Parantapa. If one reads this one sloka, one gets all the merits of reading the whole entire Bhagavad Gita. This is what Swami Vivekananda says about this sloka. Though Shankara has not commented on this one sloka, but see what Swamiji says. If one reads this one sloka, Klebyam Masmakama, second chapter, this is sloka number 3. Swamiji says, if one reads this one sloka, one gets all the merits of reading the entire Gita. For in this one sloka lies embedded the whole message of the Gita. That's what how Swamiji thinks important this one sloka is. Sloka number 3 in chapter 2. If one gets the merits of reads this one sloka, one gets all the merits of reading the entire Gita. For in this one sloka lies embedded the whole message of the Gita. That means in whole message of Gita is the message of strength. And the strength comes from Atma-jnana, self-knowledge, because we are all Atman. Atman is, there is no question of strength, infinite. People have weaknesses, but Atman cannot have weakness, pure consciousness, infinite. How can it have any weakness? We are Atman. If you remember that, where is the weakness? This one shloka gives the essence of the whole Gita, he says. If there is anything in the Gita that I like, Swamiji says, if there is anything in the Gita that I like, it is these two verses coming out strong as the very gist, the very essence of Krishna's teaching. These two slokas, 2 and 3 in chapter 2. The very essence of Krishna's teaching, he who sees the Supreme Lord dwelling alike in all beings, the imperishable in things that perish, he sees indeed. For seeing the Lord as the same everywhere present, he does not destroy the self by the self, and thus he goes to the highest world. So Swamiji gave great importance to these two shlokas, 2 and 3. It conveys the message, only one message is there, message of strength, giving up weakness. And the whole message of the Gita depends upon, consists of message of strength according to Swamiji in his teachings. Strength comes from not physical strength. It does not come from money or power or army or anything. It comes from knowing the self, Atma-jnana. Atma-jnana is the goal of Bhagavad Gita. If you get self-knowledge, infinite strength, no question of anything else. So that is the message of Gita according to Swamiji in his lecture. So that's Maharaj, why I wanted to
Maharaj.
read these two slokas.
Maharaj.
1 second, give me this phone got disconnected. It's connected here, I have to put here. Okay.
Okay, Maharaj. Do these lectures on Gita, do they come in complete works?
This is, I'm reading from the small booklet called Thoughts on the Gita by Swami Vivekananda. And that particular passage which I said is, which I read is on pages 12 and 13, and complete works pages number I'll give you if you want to note down, where Swamiji said this one, complete works volume 4, page 102 to 110. volume 4, page
102.
102 to 1110, one
Okay.
quotation. Second part I read was from volume 3, 193, 194. From those two pages, this quotation has been taken from where I read this one.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj.
Volume 4, 102 to 110,
110.
volume 3, 193, 194. Okay. Okay.
Swamiji, this is Padma. Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So, going back to where we started, we have dharma, we have artha, we have kama, and we have moksha in sequence. So, if one is stuck at step 1, which is dharma, just like Arjuna,
Dharma is the basis of everything.
Dharma is the basis for everything. And Dhamma and Arjuna's question was, okay, I respect my elders and I have no desire for the kingdom. And respecting elders culturally is something also a virtuous and noble practice, to respect our dharmas. And this could be a common man question. You respect your elders, you respect your spouses, you respect the society, but where do one draw? Just like Arjuna is asking, I don't want to kill elders because I respect them. And many times in life we come through the situations where we are in the crossroads of knowing that this is out of respect, but where do we draw? How do we decide, like, which way to go? Just like Arjuna.
Which way to go means you respect the elders. That is one. What is the
question?
The question if you, say, repeat the question.
The question is scenario just like Arjuna, right? It's not wrong for him to think that he's respecting the elders, but yet eventually at the end of 700 verses he's convinced that even though you have to respect your elders, you still have to fight for your dharma, so you have to kill them, right? So if dharma comes, your highest dharma is to protect dharma, so even if it is elders, you still have the right to fight for it. Is that the message?
Yeah. The question was, all tradition require that we should respect the elders, and Arjuna, out of respect for elders, didn't want to kill them. But in the end, Sri Krishna persuaded him to fight and kill the elders. So what should we do? Is it okay? The question here is, dharma supersedes everything. Dharma is to respect the elders. But in this particular case, that could not happen because the elders happen to be on the side of Duryodhana. Bhishma, Drona, especially those two people, and Karna also, they were the elders. And Bhishma, Drona especially, they were people looked up to them as the elders and teachers and respectable people. But they happened to be in the adharmic side. Arjuna, Duryodhana's side. Duryodhana is follower of adharma. He did not follow dharma. He himself admits that one. I know what is dharma, but I cannot follow. Duryodhana was on the wrong side, adharmic side. They joined him. And Krishna, the Lord himself, when Arjuna explained this dilemma, they are my elders, but I'm in the battlefield standing on the opposite side. How can I kill them? That was Arjuna's question. Sri Krishna advises him that is the battlefield all right? And in the battlefield, you are the warrior, you are the kshatriya. Your dharma is to fight the opponents because they are there out to kill you. Bhishma, Drona were there. If they had the chance, they would have killed Arjuna and all the Pandavas. That's why they were on the opposite side. They were going to kill us, the elders. So, being a kshatriya on the battlefield, it was Arjuna's dharma to use force, even though it happened to be against the elders, because the elders at that time did not do what the elders are supposed to do, to protect and love the younger ones. They were about to kill the younger people. Bhishma Drona were there to kill the Pandavas, supporting Duryodhana. So though they were elders, because they were engaged in doing adharmic deeds, and Yudhana was in the battlefield being Kshatriya, his dharma was to protect what is right, what is dharma. Or dharma, that's why he was asked to fight.
Just one more follow-up question. I had a very good clarity on this one, and I just wanted to come. So one extension question on this one, Swamiji. When we talk about karma yoga, right? And many times in discussions, this particular situation and question comes up. One should just accept whatever comes their way as karma, and you should not fight it. You should take it as prarabdha, as sama. What is the word that I'm looking at? Prasad buddhi. And if you really accept karma, and if you believe in karma, then any situations and any person comes your way, even if it is non-dharmic, whether the person or situation, you just have to accept it and tolerate it. How don't, like in this particular situation, Krishna did not suggest Arjuna to tolerate whatever came his way.
Whatever comes our way, we should follow it. That is all right, but you should also use your judgment. Simply blindly following whatever comes my way is not proper. I should evaluate, this has come my way, is it right or wrong? Is it my dharma? Should I do it or not? That we have to evaluate. To consider 4 things before doing any action. Simply because it comes my way, I should not blindly do it because it has come my way. So in sloka 25, chapter 18, I think it's 25:18, Sri Krishna says, 4 things have to be considered in doing whatever comes your way. So 25, Anubandham, Shami, Himsa. 25. Anubandham, okay. 18:25, Sri Krishna says, any work that comes my way, I should not simply blindly do it because it has come my way. I should examine before doing any action 4 things. It has come my way. Supposing you happen to come across a situation where you have a chance to do something, and you should not blindly do it because it is there for you to do. You should ask, is it the right thing for me to do? If I do this, what are the consequences? 4 things, 18:25. Anubandham, Kshayam, Himsam, Paurusham cha Anapekshya. What are the consequences of my action? Simply because it has come my way, if I do, what are the consequences without thinking? May not be the right thing for me to do. So I should evaluate every work separately, and if proper, if require the 4 requirements, fulfill the 4 requirements, I do that one. Otherwise, no, sorry, it is not right for me to do it right now. So 18:25 gives the answer to your question.
Yes, Swamiji.
So let me say the closing prayer. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Om, may all be happy, may all be free from diseases and other problems. May all realize and practice what is noble, dharmic, and auspicious. May no one be subject to suffering. Om peace, may there be peace and joy in our hearts, adhyatmika shanti. May there be peace and harmony amongst all the beings, no ill will, no hatred, no animosity, adi bhautika shanti. And may there be peace everywhere in nature, no suffering due to natural calamities. Now we are seeing 24,000 people have died in Syria and Turkey because of huge natural earthquake, biggest earthquake. So many thousands, that means many more are injured, lost their homes and relatives, so much suffering. We should pray to God for all those people who are suffering. May there be no suffering like that due to natural calamities. Adi Daivika Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you all and see you next week.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.